time for Hope TV Newswatch on this 26th day of May 2025. A very good evening to you, wherever you're watching us from, and welcome to the broadcast. My name is Kennedy Kimani, and signing for us tonight is Boniface Murithi. Former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has alleged that Juja Member of Parliament George Koimburi, currently hospitalized at Karen Hospital, was injected with a chemical that damaged his vocal cords during his abduction. Gachagua claims that the MP, who was found beaten and tortured in a Kifishoi coffee plantation on Monday, lost his voice due to the substance, which doctors are working to reverse. Police, however, have denied any involvement, suggesting that Koimburi staged his abduction. An investigation is underway, with authorities examining the MP's disappearance after an aborted arrest attempt last week on Friday.
To a hospital for first aid and later brought here where he was admitted. And I've just seen him and I've talked to the doctors, and they have confirmed that the Honorable George Koimburi was tortured by professionals. He has serious soft tissue injuries. This is torture normally done by professionals. He has lost his voice, and the doctors are working round the clock to restore his vocal cords. And the Honorable Koimburi has been able to communicate through writing because he's not able to speak. That some chemical was administered through inhalation, and the doctors have told us that preliminary investigations confirm that that chemical has interfered with his vocal cords. The doctors have assured us they are doing everything within their power to make sure that he's out of danger. They have taken blood and urine samples to private laboratories, different ones, so that.
Moving on swiftly, and President William Ruto has praised his current deputy, Kithure Kindiki, for being supportive and fully committed to advancing the government's agenda. Speaking at the launch of the Human Wildlife Conflict Compensation Fund at Meru National Park, the head of state highlighted Kindiki's dedication, calm demeanor, and understanding of key government sectors like infrastructure, education, and agriculture. This marks a stark contrast to his previous deputy, Rigathi Gachagua, with whom Ruto had a fallout following Gachagua's lack of support for government initiatives. Ruto also rebuked Gachagua for being quick-tempered and divisive, accusing him of attempting to sow ethnic divisions.
Sasa niko na deputy huyu anaelewa barabara, anajua stima, anajua mpango ya serikali ya SHA, ni mtu mwadilifu. That is how we are going to change Kenya. Ni mnanielewa? Yes. Ananisaidia kusukuma hii gurudumu. Mumemuona sehemu mbalimbali akisukuma gurudumu ya Kenya. I am very proud that I have a deputy who understands government, who understands what we are doing in agriculture, who understands what we are doing in infrastructure, who understands what we are doing in education, who understands what we are doing in health, and is supportive to the ministers and to me to make sure that Kenya is going forward. Sio mtu ya kisirani, sio mtu ya hasira, sio mtu ya chuki, sio mtu ya ukabila.
Justice David Maraga has accused the Kenya Kwanza government of intentionally creating confusion regarding the transfer of the public seal, a key symbol of official state authority. Maraga claims that this confusion is part of a larger scheme to facilitate the signing of government contracts that will primarily benefit insiders through corrupt practices. He has raised concerns over the legality of actions surrounding the transfer, which he believes undermines transparency and accountability in government dealings. Maraga has further argued that such moves could open doors for improper contracts, potentially siphoning public funds into private hands.
Kumbuka wale wanasema wako tayari kufanya kazi pamoja, ndio nimependa.
Hiyo muhuri ya serikali inatakikana kukaa kwa ofisi ya Attorney General.
Away from that, in Trans Nzoia, Governor George Natembeya has said that it's now time for the people of the Western region to have a single leader who will advocate for them and provide a clear direction for their future. Speaking in Bungoma town and Kandui during his homecoming tour, Governor Natembeya questioned why in some communities the leadership is clear, yet in the Western region people are still struggling to find direction. The governor has affirmed that he is ready to seize the opportunity to represent the people of Western Kenya, emphasizing that they deserve to live good lives.
Kwa sababu hatupigi kura vizuri, kwa sababu hatujipangi vizuri, si ndio? Mimi nimesema 2027 tutakuwa na nyumba yetu. Siasa ya kupeleka kwa meza, kualikwa kwa meza tumekataa, si ndio? Mahali masuala ya jamii zote inapangiwa, Mluya atakuwa kwa hiyo meza. Ama namna gani? Wasitufende kwamba tukiongea hivyo tunaongea ukabila. Kila jamii iko na kiongozi yao, si ndio? Ruto anaongoza wa Kalenjin, Kalonzo anaongoza wa Kamba, Raila anaongoza wa Jaluo, Rigiji anaongoza wa Kikuyu, nani anaongoza wa Luya? Mnasema mimi? Wangapi wanasema Natembeya? Wangapi? Mimi nataka ile meza mambo inapangwa, mupige kura mahali pamoja, mwenye anaenda kwa meza akuwe na nguvu. Ama namna gani? Asikuwa ya kubeba ujinga namna hivyo tunabeba ujinga. Muluya amekuwa mtu ya kupalilia mahindi ya watu, si ndio? Na mwezi nani? Watu wa kuchimba makaburi, ama namna gani? Watu wa kuchinja ng'ombe yenye imekufa, ama namna gani? Nyinyi mnakubali biashara?
Politics. And Moi University's acting Vice-Chancellor, Professor Kiplagat Kotut, has pledged to guide the institution through its current financial struggles. Speaking during the launch of the university's renewable energy project's second phase, Professor Kotut reassured stakeholders that key challenges have been identified and tough measures will be implemented for recovery. Addressing the recent dismissal of 900 staff members, he emphasized that difficult decisions are necessary to stabilize the university. As part of its recovery efforts, the institution plans to establish a 30-megawatt solar plant.
Who have very many challenges, even amongst us, who doesn't have challenges? You know? I'm sure you may have left home today, you may have not been able to meet some requirements, you might be getting an SMS reminding you of 1 or 2 bills that you've not paid. You may have a child in school reminding you that there is money for a field trip that you have not paid, or school, and so on and so forth. So we should not be seen differently. Eh? When we have our own issues, sometimes people think now we are actually heading to the grave. You know, there are people who think that Moi University is actually dying. In fact, there are those who already think that we died a long time ago. So when they hear about Moi University, they say, "Oh, you mean you are still in existence?" I think the most important point that we want to send out there is that we have challenges. And the most important thing is that we have identified and recognized that we have challenges. And we have the solution to our issues. Because I think the problem sometimes is that people think that somebody else should solve your problems. I think as a university we have decided we are not going to wait for anybody to fix the problems of this university. We, as a community, we are going to fix.
Students at Friends School Mbale in Vihiga County have been sent home indefinitely following a violent rampage on Sunday night. The unrest broke out after students were denied permission to watch the Spanish La Liga final day matches, leading to widespread property damage. Reports indicate that several students were injured during the chaos. While the school has not yet issued an official statement, Sabati, a member of parliament, Clement's lawyer, condemned the riots, claiming that 11 students were injured during the disturbance.
Tumejaribu kupigia walimu wa darasa lakini hawapokei simu. Sasa ndio maana tumefika hapa ili niweze kujua mtoto wa ndugu yangu ako wapi na maybe what is the condition yenye ako ndani saizi.
Unaweza uza ng'ombe, unapeleka mtoto shule, lakini unaona kama shule iko hivi. Sisi wazazi hata tukiwa nyumbani, watoto wanatushinda. Tunaona saa zingine tupeleke shuleni, at least walimu watufunze. Tena wanaturudishia watoto, wanasema watoto wameharibu shule.
Unajua kama mzazi umechukua mtoto umepeleka shule, alafu usikie kuna sintofahamu ama hali ya taharuki kama hii, hata usiku huo kama mzazi unakosa usingizi. Tumekuwa kwa hali ya kuhangaika usiku huo mpaka jinsi kumefika asubuhi tukatoka tuje tuone wana wetu.
Nilipokea simu saa 5 usiku nikiwaambia Mbale Boys is on fire. Nilishtuka sana, ndiposa nimeamua asubuhi mapema nikaraukia. Sasa nimekuja, kwa bahati mzuri nimepata mtoto ako in safe condition, lakini wale wenye wako hospitali tunawaombea.
Now, in a remarkable act of community service, Sitam Embakasi, in collaboration with health professionals and sponsors, brought essential healthcare services to the residents of Embakasi. The free medical camp held at Embakasi Primary School this past Saturday saw hundreds of people benefit from crucial services, including cancer screening, HIV testing, and post-violence care. As the church continues to bridge the healthcare gap, this initiative highlights the vital role faith-based organizations play in promoting national wellness. Crossing borders now, and the Tanzanian Member of Parliament Joseph Musukuma has criticized Kenyan activists who recently traveled to Tanzania in support of Tundu Lissu, who faces treason charges. Speaking in Parliament on Monday, Musukuma argued that Tanzania has surpassed Kenya in many areas and has nothing to learn from it. He condemned the abuse of President Samia Suluhu Hassan and Tanzanian authorities following the detention of Kenyan activists, including Martha Karua and Boniface Mwangi. Musukuma also urged the Tanzanian government to prevent further interference by Kenyan activists. His remarks come amid international calls for an investigation into alleged torture faced by Mwangi and Ugandan activist Agatha Atuhaire.
Wenzetu wamekuja kutoka Kenya, tuwaombe, na wao wanaangalia bunge hili. Sisi Tanzania hatuna cha kujifunza Kenya. Hatuna hata kimoja cha kujifunza. Tunawazidi siasa, tunawazidi akili, tunawazidi kila kitu. Na wala swala la Kiingereza sisi sio kipaumbele. Tuna maisha yetu. Kwa hiyo naombe sana vyombo vya ulinzi na usalama, usikubali kuruhusu watu hao waje watuharibie nchi yetu.
It is exactly 21 minutes past the top of the hour. Time now for a short break, but immediately after I'll be back with the business and sports news. Stick around.
Hope TV is where you look and live, with an excellent selection of the best Christian programming consisting of local and international content of inspirational stories, talk shows, Bible commentary, youth, health shows, children entertainment, contemporary gospel music, extended times of worship, live broadcast, news, movies, drama, Christian ministry programs, and so much more. Hope TV is another quality service from Christ is the Answer Ministries, with over 45% of authentic and credible local content every week. Hope TV is a sister station to Hope FM, Kenya's leading Christian radio station, with footprints across the country. Tune in to Hope TV, where you look and live.
Going back to the heart of worship.
Whether up the mountain or down the valley, we were created to worship God.
Enjoy carefully selected worship music every Wednesday all day long.
Oh, I will sing of the goodness of God.
it a notch higher with more worship music.
Every Wednesday
is Worship Wednesday.
Only on Hope FM. Listen and live.
Thank you for tuning in to Hope TV, your go-to channel for hope, inspiration, education, and wholesome entertainment. At Hope TV, we are committed to knowing God and making Him known through powerful media content. We truly value you and are dedicated to serving you better. For feedback, inquiries, or complaints, reach out via WhatsApp or SMS on 0708 222 323. Email us at customerexperience@hopefm.org. Hope TV, look and live.
Let's get down to business and agriculture. Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe has announced that the government has released the first batch of 200,000 bags of maize from the National Strategic Grain Reserve. The move is aimed at stabilizing flour prices and preventing a potential shortage. The maize held by the National Cereals and Produce Board (NCPB) will be distributed to registered millers at a subsidized rate of 4,250 shillings per 90 kg bag. The first consignment will be sent to select depots in the North and South Rift regions, with allocations being made to both mill associations and individual millers.
We have enough maize in our strategic food reserves. We also still have enough maize being held by our large-scale farmers, so there shouldn't be any worry. Okay, for example, for registered millers, we have the top tier, which are under Cereal Millers Association. We also have another tier called Green Bell Grain Millers, and the other smaller millers. The process is this: a miller must have a valid trading license. They must have a certificate of incorporation. They must have a certificate from Kenya Bureau of Standards for the brand. And then they do, for those who are not in those associations, there are millers who have not registered under those associations, they can do a letter for request to our managing director and attach what I have told you. Yes. And for schools also, there's also a procedure. A school, of course, must be registered at the Ministry of Education. The county education, they must get that introduction from the county education.
To some sporting action now. William Kaguta and Mary Kandu have been crowned the overall gross winners at the NCBA Golf Series held at the Nyali Golf and Country Club over the weekend. The event attracted 223 golfers from across the Mombasa region, all vying for a spot in the series grand finale. Kaguta, playing off a handicap of 2, posted an impressive 68 gross to take the title of overall gross men's winner. Henry Kamau, with a 74 gross, finished as the runner-up, while Gabak Singh secured the third place with a 76 gross.
I'm proud to see all the initiatives from NCBA around golf. I think we, as golfers, request you to continue doing this. We will support you by turning up and playing in your events.
In Kenya, previously, golf was looked at like a rich man, no need to sponsor and no touch. But the unveiling that it can be played by anybody, the sponsorship for the children, the growth that you have made for our juniors, we really, really appreciate and keep it up. Even for the amateurs who you've been sponsoring, we do appreciate that very much.
Through this series, our goal is to provide a platform that allows golfers of all levels, from amateurs to juniors, to enjoy the game, build their skills, and develop lasting networks. We also recognize golf as an avenue for impacting important values, discipline, patience, and strategic thinking. And these are values that align with our philosophy as a bank.
And RS Berkane have been crowned the 2024-2025 CAF Confederation Cup champions in a thrilling final in Zanzibar on Sunday evening, drawing 1-1 with Simba SC to seal a 3-1 aggregate victory. Despite facing intense pressure from Simba early on, the Moroccan side, who had a 2-0 advantage from the first leg, showed incredible composure and experience. This marks Berkane's third Confederation Cup title, following their triumphs in 2020 and 2022. Simba's defeat means that Gor Mahia remains the only East African club to have won the prestigious title. We finish off in England, where Manchester United have reportedly reached an agreement to sign Wolves striker Matheus Cunha, with the club set to trigger his £62.5 million release clause. The forward is expected to join on a 5-year contract with an option for an additional year. This move comes amid a challenging season for Man United, who endured a defeat in the Europa League final to Tottenham Hotspur and will miss European competition for the second time in 35 years. After finishing 15th in the Premier League, Ruben Amorim is keen to strengthen his attacking option with Rasmus Højlund struggling for form and the future of Alejandro Garnacho and Marcus Rashford uncertain. Cunha, who signed a new 4-year deal with Wolves in February, has impressed this season, netting 15 goals and providing 6 assists in the league, making him a consistent target for United. And with that, we come to the end of our news tonight. Many thanks to you for making time to watch Hope TV Newswatch. We really do appreciate the value of your time. On behalf of the amazing team that made this bulletin a success, have yourselves a blessed night. My name is Kennedy Kimani, and signing for us tonight has been Boniface Moridi.